your 20s, I believe that this is the best time to take the biggest risks because you're young, and when you're young, you can afford to take huge bets, huge risks. So showing up is not enough. Most people think that showing up is enough. I know, especially in this country, people think that just showing up to your job is doing so much, that I'm gonna get there at 9 and then I knock off at 5. I've done so much. No, that's just showing up. That's just half, a quarter of the work. If you want to improve yourself, you first have to know where you are. So when you go on Google Maps, before you say, okay, I want to get to Riverwalk, but it first needs your location first before you can get to Riverwalk. So you need to know where you are before you can actually set course to the direction where you want to go. How do you know when something's a sacrifice? It hurts. And that's the notion of the sacrifice. It's painful, but sometimes it's necessary.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome today to the show, Mr. Motheo Kgengwenyane.
Yeah, nice.
Hey man, last time around.
Yeah, you got it right this time.
Your name Hey everybody, welcome to Deep Dive. My name is Motheo. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for giving us your most valuable asset, which is your time. We appreciate it. This channel is on business, personal development, and personal finance. So if any of those speak to you, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes that we're dropping. Today we have a special guest. His name is Motheo Kgengwenyane, the young man who at the age of 22 years became a millionaire. And now at 23, he's coming back on the show and he's explaining the mindset of success. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be an exciting episode. And please watch this video all the way through so you don't miss any valuable wisdom that this young man will be sharing with us. And if you found value, definitely subscribe. And if you could share this video with one friend, that would be legendary. Let's deep dive. Talk to me about that, in fact, that notion of, you know what, work now, party later.
Yeah.
Especially because you're young. And, there's every reason for you to have fun. And even there's every reason for you to have fun. Talk to me about that notion. Where did you develop that and how are you able to keep yourself in check from time to time and say, listen, we have to do this now and then. That will come late.
Yeah. So I believe in the constant sacrifice of the present for the future. So I'm constantly delaying gratification, pleasure all the time. That's how I do my life. And when you talk about how do I keep in check, it's accountability. You can't be a high performer without having an accountability system. So when we're young people, we're told that in our 20s or even early 20s, just go out, party, have fun, relax. No.
Yeah, those are the best years of your life.
Exactly, that's what they say.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. It's in your 20s, I believe that this is the best time to take the biggest risks because you're young. And when you're young, you can afford to take huge bets, huge risks. You don't have any dependence on you. Most of us don't have any dependence. So you can take a risk, you can afford to fail. The cost of failure is less.
Yeah.
But it's not even a failure, you're just learning at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think the notion that young people should have fun, live life, your best years, I think that's wrong.
That's wrong.
I think that your 20s is when you come in to discover yourself. And how do you discover yourself? Because you don't know yourself. And how you know that you don't know yourself is you don't really conduct yourself in the manner that you'd like to conduct yourself in. You don't have that discipline when you say, I'm going to get up at 6. Do you get up at 6? No, I don't. I always stay in bed. Okay. Clearly, there's something I don't know about myself that I'm really not in control.
There's a disconnect.
Yeah, So you don't really know yourself. And how you get to know yourself is you go out into the world. We were just speaking about religion right now.
Yeah.
I think it's Abraham. They say, get me out of thy kingdom into thy kindred. Kindred means going out and go discover yourself. So it's, you need to go out into the world to do things, find out what you like and find out what you don't like. The first 5 businesses I did, I didn't like them. And I wouldn't have known that I didn't like them if I didn't do them. But now I know what I like.
Yeah.
So I'm there now. But I wouldn't have found that out if I didn't go out and do something.
I feel that.
I
feel that.
So, yeah.
Where did you develop the mindset of delayed gratification? I mean, we all want to have it, talk about it, but where did you actually develop it? Because also it's a thing of you don't just know it, but you're doing it. And it's wisdom that says that it's not I'm trying to paraphrase something I think I saw it on an Instagram reel where it said that actually it's changed behavior that shows that you have actually learned something new. Because you can say you've learned, but it's just had knowledge and it's not practical.
Yeah.
Where did you get that, and be able to hone into that?
So I did judo, which is a martial art. And in martial arts, you learn that you don't predicate feeling first, you predicate thought. So if you're feeling this way, okay, but predicate thought first. I don't feel like getting up today, okay, but you have these responsibilities to fulfill. Okay, think it through. Okay, I actually have to get up. So that's what you learn, that no, you don't predicate how you're feeling. You just get the job done regardless of how you're feeling, because you made a commitment, you have responsibilities, and you have duties. So that's what I learned from martial arts. And I also did basketball. And in basketball, I learned discipline. You show up to the court regardless of how you're tired. You carry on running laps even if you're tired and your legs are painful.
You come back the next day even if you're shooting air balls.
Yeah, you just...
Yeah.
And in basketball, I learned to show up. Showing up to training all the time. I learned that. But then I also learned that showing up is not doing it. Showing up is not getting the job done. Showing up is maybe 1% of it.
Is it your foot in the door?
Yeah. Then you actually have to execute after showing up. So showing up is not enough. Most people think that showing up is enough. I know, especially in this country, people think that just showing up to your job is doing so much. That I'm going to get there at 9 and then I knock off at 5. I've done so much. No, that's just showing up. That's just a quarter of the work. So I learned that, no, you show up and then you execute and then you perform. So it's through really sports where I learned discipline, predicating thought over feeling, that are those important things, especially the accountability. The accountability is key because, I can hold myself accountable but only to some extent. I need an external accountability partner who is going to be like, I tell them, it's 12, I'm tired, but then they're like, okay, but did you do all the things on your to-do list? And it's like, no, okay, then it's good to be tired, but go do your work.
It's good to be tired.
Yeah, it's good to be tired, but go carry on and finish the work.
Yeah. I feel that. What is high performance to you? Like, especially in the business lens, if you look at this and you see that as a high performer, what is that for you?
A high performer is someone who, and let's say a typical person, and what they call an excellent day, like they did maybe 12 hours that day and it was just pure focus work. A high performer does that every single day. It's just another day to them. They don't even notice it. When they get up at 6 and then they finish work at midnight, to them it's like, okay, then they do it again tomorrow. It's just another day. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
That's a high performer. They keep their word. When they say they're going to do something, they do it. That's character also. Most important, they're honest. Because in business, that's the fundamental transaction is honesty. Yeah.
Oof. Talk to me about some of those sacrifices that you have done. What are some of the most painful sacrifices where you're like, that was brutal?
Yeah. I think, because you don't have time. You're working all the time. So, I love my mom. I love her so much. I appreciate everything she's done. But I've had to miss key important dates with her, birthdays with her, all those things. I'm not there.
Birthdays, man.
I'm in the same country.
Yeah.
But I can't attend because I have work to do.
You have to,
But that's a sacrifice. But she understands now. But before it was hard. I have my older brother has a daughter now, and they live in Canada. Everyone in the family has seen her except me. And that's but also it's because my visa got rejected. But did I do my visa application? Did I do it properly? Did I give it the time it needed? So also that part is, that sucks, you know. I mean, she's 1 now, and I'm the only family member she hasn't met. So yeah, it is painful, and that's a sacrifice. But I believe that it's worth it. It's a net positive in the end. Yeah, the goal we're going for, it's not even about me, the mission. It's not. It's about everyone else. And I believe that truly.
And your family understands that?
They're fully supportive. Fully. I mean, I told my parents, it's changed. I think last year I told them it's changed. School is now the side hustle. business is now the main.
I like that.
It's changed now.
Yeah.
And especially, taking that risk of running a business and school.
Yeah.
Flying up and down all the time, not attending lectures. I think I've attended 2 lectures, not taking school as serious as I should.
Yeah.
So they're very supportive of that. They haven't challenged me about it in terms of, no, Monty, we're paying for you to go to school. You need to do this. No, they're like, okay, go do you. You have full support, And when I say that we're young and we can take risks, my mom knows I'm full on taking the biggest risks. And she's like, okay, but if you fail, that's okay. You still have a home to come back to. Go out and take those risks, but you still have a home to come back to if everything falls apart and you lose everything.
I love that.
Which I believe I am going to. It's only a matter of time because, the risks are big. But it's nice. That's the support, that they're there. They showed me that they're supportive. So that's how they support you.
Lovely stuff. Talk to me about school now. You've been up and down in the country pushing GreyX. And we have a pandemic that I think all of us are aware of in terms of our education system. I mean, it's just going down, man. It's very painful also, especially because I also have a tutoring company. I'm experiencing children that are coming to our tutoring company in Form 2, and they have a reading level of Standard 2. We're experiencing kids that can't even write at Standard 7. They can't write, man. That means they can't read. It's terrible. So, first of all, where are we missing it fundamentally in this country? And second of all, how can we solve this problem? At least, where's the North Star for us?
Yeah. That's and no one's ringing the alarm bells.
Yeah.
That's the part that worries me the most.
It's crazy,
The data, because you can't argue with data. The data is, I think, 12%. We have an illiteracy rate of 12%, meaning that 1 in every 5 Botswana don't know how to read or write. Primary school dropout rates, I think 1 in every 8 drops out. They don't complete primary. And then the high school, the average failure rate for the past 10 years, it's 70%. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
How?
It is ridiculous.
The most scariest part, our completion rates are over 90% of high school. So you're having people finish high school,
but they're failing.
But they are failing at extraordinary rates.
Yeah.
Where are the alarm bells? And know another thing?
Exactly.
The average expenditure for the national budget across sub-Saharan Africa, according to the whole budget, is 16% education. So education takes up 16% on average.
That is huge.
It is. So it shows that, sub-African, Africa is committed to education. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
16%. You know what Botswana is? 22%. So our expenditure is high. Our failure rates are high. Our dropout rates are high. What's the problem? What is the problem? So the data is very scary to look at. It's like, okay, we're throwing more money at this, but it's not solving anything. So clearly that must not be the problem. There must be something else. We have GreyEd, one of the companies I started. It's AI in education. The reason why I started it is because when I was at MAP, we have to do a physical service and enrichment. So my service was ordinary teaching.
Yeah.
So we went to the primary school to teach there.
Yeah.
I did it for 2 years.
I remember we even talked about it, yeah.
There's no noticeable improvement at all in the school. Students are beating teachers. I think, that we'll have a class of 30 students, 6 textbooks. Tell me how we can make that work. We can't. So at some point it becomes impractical to use textbooks. So it's...
what's going higher? Drugs, teenage pregnancy. Right now, I mean, it's crazy. Especially where our center is. It is insane, man.
And they wonder why.
It is insane.
They wonder why the rates are so high. And I'm like, it's because we have a failure rate. People fail at Form 3. They go out into the streets because they can't do anything.
Yeah.
So what happens with an idle mind? That famous quote, idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Exactly.
So why are we surprised? That's the thing. Why are we surprised when it's all a chain reaction?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes
what
sense
is happening.
why, yeah.
So I think for me, I found that as another moral obligation to attend to it. And that's why I started Grey Ed, you know, to attend to this education, because that's where it was born, you know. It's at least we can say it's a Botswana product, you know, even though it's growing here, you know, as you see the trips I'm taking around the country, you know, trying to attend to it. And it's just shocking.
What is the reception of it?
You should see the teachers. The teachers are so excited because teachers spend about 8 hours out of their, let's say, 35-hour work week on lesson planning. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where are they spending time with the children? We have cut that down to about 5 to 10 minutes from those 8 hours. Now they get to spend time with children. Now they get to spend time with the kids. And then now we've introduced different types of, you know, teachers need to learn how to support students. So we want to introduce that also at the same time. So the reception has been, teachers and parents, it's been amazing. The kids who, like, you know, you get those kids who just, you don't have to coach them. You don't have to tell them anything. They'll go learn by themselves.
They already know what time it is.
Yeah, those ones are very excited.
Yeah.
So the reception is very good. Now, I have said that whether we get support or not from government, we're going to get the job done. We are going to attend to this educational
whether or
crisis.
not you get support from government.
Because we don't care whether we get support or not. We are going to get the job done because it's unjust what's happening.
Yeah.
It's just not okay. For a country of Botswana stature, no, it's unacceptable.
Especially with education being free. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
At all.
I also think it's the reason why homeschooling has now become very, very powerful. And even parents have come to me. I'm talking about parents that we work with. And then they're like, you know what, maybe we can now do homeschooling because we take them in batches of 10. We don't take more than 10 because it's the same reason of having one teacher, 40 students. They can't reach to those. So they're only dealing with the kids that are faster, the ones that are learning quicker. But those that need time are kind of suffering. Yeah, so I think there's something that fundamentally has to change with that. Maybe it even has to come from policy level.
No, but I promise you it will change. That one I can tell you, the next 10 years across healthcare, across education, energy and infrastructure, the next 10 years are going to be the most exciting times in Botswana because we're going to see there are young guys out there who are taking these acceleration technologies and bringing them here and implementing them, allowing us to leapfrog old technology and jump straight to the frontier. Actually, this next 10 years is going to be the most exciting part. I'm very hopeful about it.
Yes, sir.
So hopeful.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited.
Yeah. Future's bright, eh?
Yeah, I know it is. I know that all the bad stats are going up and all the good stats are going down, but that's temporary. It's going to flip. I promise you that. Yeah.
Awesome. And then talking about impulse control, this one is a big one, even for me, because I used to be the guy that had the shiny object syndrome problem. I start this business and I'm like, yo, this business is the one. I'm in it. 3 months in, obviously, when you had those, you know, those tough moments, I'm like, ish. I start to see another opportunity or somebody tells me about that, then I'm gone. Then it's just the cycles of starting, stopping. And then I had to like kind of look at my life and be like, man, you're a terrible finisher. Like, you're good at starting stuff, but you're terrible at finishing. So that was a conversation I had with myself. What are some of those conversations you've had with yourself where you had to sit down with yourself in your own board of directors and be like, yo, Monty, hey, man, you better stop that. You better pick that up. You better do that. What are some of those?
The biggest one is school. Everyone asks me, Monty, why are you still in school? No, why are you still in school? And I'm like, because I started something. I made a commitment. So regardless of whatever nice things happen, whatever happens on the side, I'm going to finish this because whatever you start, you finish. You don't want to get into the habit of starting something and not finishing it, especially when good, like distractions, let's call it, good things happen on the side that you can gravitate towards and not finish.
I mean, there's money.
Yeah, you know, so it's
there's all of these things.
Even if $1 million comes, I'm still going to finish school. Even if 10 million comes, I'm still going to, 100 million, whatever, I'm still going to finish school.
So there's no price that would ever make you like?
No.
Hey,
because
strong,
if you
man.
start something, you finish it.
You're strong.
Otherwise,
I just need 50K and I'm gone. Gone, bro.
Yeah, because it's also like the brain, it's when you act something out, you build a neurological connection in your head with it. And the more you act it out, the stronger the connection becomes. So then now you start acting it subconsciously, so you don't even notice it anymore. So the moment I start starting and not finishing it, it's a slippery slope. So the conversation,
get in the habit of that.
Yeah. So, and I know that I'm, before I had those conversations, I always thought, the grass is green on the other side. Start a business. Ooh, it's getting tough. Okay, what about this one? Okay, no. Okay, what about this one? I mean, when you go to SIPA and before, because they're off now, but when you go into SIPA and you saw Motheo Kgengwenyane, you see a bunch of business names.
Yeah.
Because I was just starting and stopping. And if you go to my domain host, you'll see like so many domains. Because like I'm starting this. So that impulse control, learning to contend with it, because it's never going to go. It's going to be there. Just like ego, pride, all these things are going to be there. You just have to learn to contend with them. That's learning to contend with your impulses.
We fall to the strength of our systems. I want to talk about systems. And systems builders, they can be boring because, it's systems. It's nothing exciting. But talk to me about systems that you have in place, because it's not just about succeeding. It's about creating habits that will allow you to succeed. Talk to me about those systems that you put into place into your life that have been able to really turn the needle and pivot you in the direction you're in right now.
Yeah. So the systems I have for a daily routine.
Yeah.
Let's
actually just run us through a day, like morning till night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to record this stuff.
So I'll wake up in the morning either between 6 and 7. And then when I wake up, it's immediately go and get ready, shower, etc. If sometimes I eat breakfast, sometimes I don't, depending on the day. Go either from working at the office or I'm working from like a place like Hilton or wherever. I go there. Mornings is emails. I'm not a morning person. It takes time to wake up, so I just try postpone meetings to the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So mornings I leave for emails, spend time on emails. Any criticals, hit those. Any emergencies, hit those. And then afternoon.
So the entire morning you're just pushing emails.
Yeah.
How many emails are you doing?
Last week Friday, Thursday, I spent like 2 hours on emails. I was still shocked when I was still there on emails. But yes, that's just emails. And then after that, afternoon it's meetings. Depends what day, whether I'm doing sales or whatever. Meetings, then evening, I start going to product development, finding ways to improve the product. Then depending on the time zone, whether it's the US one or on the other side, on the East, contact customers, check in. Because that's when the US is getting to the afternoon. When it gets to evening, nighttime for us. So check on them, how they're doing. Then at night, have a few meetings, carry on working. Then up until between midnight and 1 is when I start to go down. I start to okay, I'm starting to fall asleep. I'm starting to get ready to go to bed.
This is every day?
Yeah, every day.
Midnight and 1?
Yeah. And then, I'm telling you, let me say yesterday, I had a dinner and the dinner finished at 10. And then I was driving home and I wanted to go home. I was tired because the previous Sunday I had left Hilton at 10, 11 on the Sunday. Then the next it's a Monday, Mondays.
Yeah.
So then I'm tired, everything. And then I message someone and I'm like, I'm tired, I want to go home. And then they're like, no. You said you're going to go to the office, so you're going to go to the office. So I found myself at the office, at 10 a.m. driving to the office to carry on doing work. So that's just how it is.
Principle.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, and accountability. So those are the systems I have in place. Especially accountability, because I know myself. I can find a reason not to do something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell if I know something's even big and sometimes it scares me, I'll tell someone so that person can hold me accountable to it. So those things are very important.
Yeah. I like that. I also post. I tell people also about stuff that we're going to do so that actually I've already said it. So you have to do it.
Follow through.
Yeah. Then talk to me about this. I'm curious to know when and what point in your life, because I believe that you have to get into a point, you have to have a point in life where you have a season of no, where you just can't be, hey, let's meet up, let's do it. You can't attend to everybody because you're trying to build this, and you'll only be able to be of more value to them or to whoever even wants to meet up with you after you've left that season? Or did you ever have that season of no or that season of yes and whatever? Talk to me about that.
So I'm high in trait agreeableness. So I struggled
In what?
trait agreeableness. One of the big personalities.
Agreeableness. Oh, yeah,
agreeableness.
okay.
So I tend to say yes a lot. So I had to learn how to say no. You know, even remember, I think it was 2020, the first year, yeah. I was like, I need to learn to say no. This is killing me. I'm taking on things that it's putting so much pressure. I don't have time, whatever. Then I just had to learn to say no. You know, so I did go through that season because I loved saying yes. You know, even if I didn't want to say yes, I found myself saying yes. So I did go through that season of saying no. It made people upset, yeah. But I knew it was for a reason. You know, if I'm working on something, I'll work on so the way my brain works is, okay, I have this Monty, okay, he's gonna work on a subset personality trait, and he's just gonna focus on that maybe for 2 days. Because my daily routine is automated. I don't have to think about it. You know, if I wake up and let's say I'm like a zombie, I'll just find myself opening my laptop and starting to work. So that's fine. Now, when I'm working on myself, that's when I put in attention. So I'll work on, okay, I'm learning to say no. So now I strategize. How am I going to learn to say no? So I full on focus on that personality trait. And I believe that, you know, when you're trying to work on yourself and do something, find the smallest possible change that will make the biggest impact. You know, something like that. So that's what I try to do every time I work on some issue that I'm trying to work on.
You're trying to solve.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As I grow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Your relationship with money and money psychology. Because a lot of us don't have very good relationships with money. And it is something that some of us get the money, it just goes. Like we don't know where it went. Sometimes we avoid money. Sometimes we don't even have the conversations at the dinner tables at our houses. Talk to me about the relationship with money. Is it something that you grew up with and you were talking about at the dinner table? And what did you have to do? Like implement your relationship with money? That's psychology, because it's psychology.
Yeah. So growing up, my dad is quite frugal. I say frugal spender. So I took that up. So I'm not a fan of spending. I'm not a fan of expenditure. So I try limit how much I spend. And then he's also big on security. So he implemented that in me. So I'm also big on security. So in high school, I was like, okay, the first thing so in high school, I started planning this. First thing I'm going to do when I make money is I'm going to make sure I secure my future children's school fees. Okay. And then once I've done that, now I secure just basic funds for when I'm 30, you know, so that's what I did. And then afterwards I was like, okay, now let me just start investing. Okay. And I started investing. Then the company had money. Now I was like, okay, let me start investing in startups. Okay. I started investing in startups. So now I started getting addicted to investing, you know, in some sense. So that's why I think we've invested in 10 startups right now.
And they're cool.
Oh,
and they're cool. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So we invest in startups that literally will change lives, you know, possibly 1 billion lives. That's the goal. So yeah, my relationship with money, and also, you know, I went to MAP. I mean, not even MAP. I mean, in Botswana, I don't know, there's this thing that I felt bad for if I had money.
Yeah.
So that really messed my relationship with money. So I didn't want to show
that thing
that there was money. So whenever I didn't hint at all, but I've tried to attend to it now. So, but yeah, my relationship with money is just, I don't like spending. I just invest. Literally.
Money is a tool. That's your relationship.
It's literally a tool, yeah.
I love that.
And then it's like, okay, I'm going to carry on living like a student because I'm a student, you know? So, and then I know that, in 4 years when I'm finished with uni, I'll be a very happy guy. Yeah.
My last question to you, but it's not the question I asked that time though. In your entire life experience, what would be, let me phrase this question like this. If you were to die today, and then you came back and you're brought back to life by God, God gives you one more chance, and He gives you one wish, what would that be?
For one wish, for me to stay alive. So for me to stay alive while going through a black hole and then be able to come back. Yeah, I would like to experience what happens when you enter a black hole. That's the wish I would go for.
That's your thing?
Yeah.
Hey, I was seeing Mets like this. You know that meme where guys see when you said that, that's okay, MTV. So you like to what?
To see you experience.
Go through the black hole.
Yeah.
Like, you mean like the legit, the real life black hole?
Yeah,
like
the real black hole, yeah. To go through it and then also come back to Earth and tell people what happened. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Deep Dive is dedicated to bringing you the most comprehensive and engaging information about business, personal finance, and personal development. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our latest content. If you like this video, give it a like to show your support and help us reach a wider audience. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family who may be interested. Sharing helps us grow our community and connect with like-minded individuals. Leave a comment below and give us your biggest takeaway on this episode. If you're interested in being a part of our live studio audiences, make sure to register for the next show. Can't make it to the show? No problem. Check out our Patreon page to watch the full episode and get exclusive access to more great content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Deep Dive.